In the previous video, I showed you how to create an if statement to return the output based on a condition. Let's examine the formula in the cell which shows 215. If I double click here, I see the formula. It is returning a value based on a condition that if b1 minus b2, which are these two cells, is less than 0, then it would return 0. But if b1 minus b2 is not less than 0, it would return b1 minus b2 itself. Now, what we will do here is to in a column below as shown, make the first value always equivalent to the chosen initial value in blue, and make all subsequent values reduced by the subtractor until you have values for the first 8 terms of the sequence. Use an if statement so that if a value in the column is less than or equal to 0, then the cell and all its subsequent cells will equal 0. So what it's asking us to do is to start with the value you have up here and subtract 35 from that value in a recursive fashion, which means you keep subtracting 35 from every result that you get. So let's get this value to start working on in this cell. You can type in equals and just click on the cell, hit enter. You can see it reflects exactly the contents of the cell you clicked in. If you change the cell up here to 260, for example, or whatever, 26, it reflects it exactly. Now let's change this back to 250. We're then asked to find a recursive if statement for subtracting 35 from 250 each time. So let's click in the cell below, start with an equal to sign, and this time we're going to start with the if statement, open the bracket, and open another bracket to put these two. So we're going to do 250, we're going to click this cell minus 35. So we click in the cell B2. Now let's close the bracket. And if that is less than 0, then you want the answer to be 0. However, if that is not equal to 0, then you simply want the same contents. So B7 minus B2, I'll just copy that and paste it here. Let's hit enter. So it does give you the correct answer when you subtract 35 from 250. Now we want to repeat this recursively downwards. So let's try something. Let's go to the right of the cell, and when the cursor turns into a cross, click and drag downwards. So what's happening here? We were to get the value of 215 minus 35, but we get 215 instead. It looks strange. The next two values also don't seem to fit into what we expect. What happened? Well, what happened was that when you drag downwards, Sheets looked at your cell references here, and as you drag downwards, it increased the cell references by 1 each time. So instead of taking B7 minus B2, it took B8 minus B3 for the next cell, and B9 minus B4 in the next cell, and so on. Now this is fine for the B7 part because we do want it to look downwards for each initial value. But we don't want it to look downwards for the B2 because that's a constant or absolute reference. So to tell Sheets to reference this in an absolute manner, simply put a dollar symbol on either side of the B. We need to do that for both the cases of B. And it's only around the cell B2, as you can see. Let's hit enter. So now we have a formula that will reference B2 absolutely. Let's drag downwards for a bit and see what we get. Okay, so now it looks like it is doing the job correctly. We have been asked to do this for the first 8 terms of the sequence. So to make it easy to count 8 off, I'll start here with 1. Now I like to center my numbers, so I'll click on the header column and go here and select the centering option. Now, if you want to increase this value to any number you want, come to the right bottom of the cell. When the cursor turns into a cross, click and hold down Command key or Control key if you have a Mac or a PC, and scroll down by clicking and dragging. Okay, we got exactly 8 terms here, so we're good. And that's how you can create a recursive if formula.